But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the green belt, which don't mean it, the real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. What are you talking about?
Can you talk about the difficulty of this decision?
Yes, it's very sad. It is very complicated to have to vacate a title, to withdraw recognition of a champion hurts very deeply.
And this is what TKO is saying. Why do you have to pay them? Don't pay them. Don't adhere to their crazy rules.
Terence Crawford has called for a boycott of the WBC after the organization stripped Shakur Stevenson of his title. Crawford criticized the WBC for what he described as arrogant leadership, overly strict rules, and excessive sanctioning fees that place unnecessary financial pressure on fighters.
$100,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any of the other sanctioned bodies? Huh? To that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA?
Terence Crawford publicly clashed with WBC President Mauricio Suleiman, stating that he could take the WBC belt whenever he wants. He accused the organization of charging Shakur Stevenson a pointless $100,000 fee, calling it another example of the WBC exploiting fighters.
You can take the fucking belt. It's a trophy anyway.
Mauricio Suleiman defended the WBC's decision by claiming Shakur Stevenson was stripped for breaking rules and failing to meet payment requirements. He also pointed out that Terence Crawford had previously been stripped under similar circumstances, reinforcing the organization's strict stance on compliance.
On the WBC super lightweight, then he unified and became undisputed in welterweight against WBC champion, who was Spence, in a great fight. He petitioned to fight a final elimination bout in super welterweight against Madrimov and remain champion in welter. The WBC supported him. He did not comply with the rules. Then he moves up to super middle and makes the fight of the century, beats Canelo, makes $50 million or around that. The WBC absolutely is not going to charge 3% of such an amount. We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000.
Shakur Stevenson expressed his frustration on X, saying he had already paid the WBC after his last fight and questioned why he was being asked for another $100,000. He suggested the issue stemmed from the WBC's conflict with Terence Crawford and accused the organization of targeting him unfairly. Crawford added that officials live comfortably off fighters, while boxers take the physical punishment and still have to pay excessive fees.
All that, and guess who gotta pay for it? Us fighters. We paying for y'all to come out here, have the time of y'all life, stay in the best hotels of y'all life, and it's all done on our dime. It's done on our dime. Do that sound right to y'all? It's crazy, ain't it? We the one out there getting battered, knocked upside our head, and every time we step foot in the ring, we gotta pay them a sanction fee like they the government. We getting taxed. It's crazy.
In another post, Shakur Stevenson called the demanded $100,000 money for crooks who don't deserve it, saying he would rather give that money to his daughter. He emphasized that the WBC had nothing to do with his recent fight and accused the organization of acting out of spite. Roy Jones Jr. weighed in, stating that stripping a champion of their belt over disputes is unfair, disrespectful, and damaging to the organization's credibility.
Something that a lot of people were really upset about. And
I don't really want to get too deep into that. All I'm gonna say is it's wrong for him to be stripped if he didn't even defend the title.
Yeah.
Chris Mannix strongly criticized the WBC for demanding excessive fees from Shakur Stevenson, calling the situation disgusting and unjust. He argued that no matter how much money Shakur earns, it belongs to him alone and that sanctioning bodies have no moral claim to it. Mannix also stated that the current sanctioning system is deeply flawed, exploiting fighters who already endure extreme physical and mental risks inside the ring.
Is as crooked and shady as you can possibly get. And for the WBC to do this now, when sanctioning bodies are under attack, when the sanctioning system is under attack, this is a glaring example about why maybe they shouldn't exist. Maybe they shouldn't be in boxing if you are going to reach into the pocket of a fighter like Shakur Stevenson, ask for $100,000. According to Shakur, there's been no comment on this from the WBC. I asked for one. I talked to a member of their staff. I said, tell me what's going on here. And all I've seen is the Instagram post of the WBC saying they were stripping him. To reach into the pocket of a fighter for a fight that you have nothing to do with and asking for $100,000. I don't care how much money Shakur Stevenson made that night. That's his money. That belongs in his pocket. The WBC had nothing to do with it. It is disgusting. Disgusting that they stripped Shakur Stevenson of that belt. And Shakur would be right to never fight for a WBC belt.
The WBC previously sparked controversy with Terence Crawford when he refused to pay a reported $300,000 fee following his fight with Canelo Alvarez. Crawford questioned why he was being charged more than usual, noting that the IBF, WBA, and WBO accepted standard fees without issue. Even when Crawford offered the WBC the typical 3% cut, the organization allegedly demanded 6%, far higher than other sanctioning bodies. Many analysts argued that WBC contributed little beyond awarding the belt, making such fees difficult to justify.
For me, I think Terence Crawford's well within his rights to say that I ain't giving you $300,000. Why? Like, why am I giving you $300,000? What for? And don't talk about my Mauricio Sullivan saying Terence Crawford made 50 million. What's that got to do with you? No. And what I like as well about Terence, he said, look, I gave the IBF money, I gave the WBA money, I gave the WBO money. We haven't heard any of those organizations moan about the amount Terence Crawford gave to them. They're like, oh, we'll take it. Because ultimately, what are they doing? Apart from strapping a belt around your waist, what are they doing? And we'll get to that as well. So he then tried to give the WBC that amount of money as well. They clearly said, no, we're not taking that. We want a bit more. And then they're like, okay, normally we take 3%, but 3% of 50 million would have been too much. So you know what? We'll allow you to pay us 0.6.
Shakur Stevenson remains undefeated, and no opponent has taken his title from him in the ring. Despite this, the WBC declared his belt vacant after he moved up in weight, claiming his absence created a void in the division. The title was vacated administratively, not through a loss. Stevenson's record and accomplishments remain untouched, reinforcing his status as one of boxing's elite fighters.
Can be ruled inactive at that weight class. So, despite nobody beating Shakur Stevenson, he is an undefeated fighter. Nobody took his belt. But for whatever reason, the WBC has decided him moving up has created some type of void and have now made and declared his title vacant, allowing the division to successfully move forward with new contenders. So in this case, Stevenson, he didn't lose his belt in the ring. Nobody beat him. He's still undefeated. The title was vacated administratively, which is a difference. And we need to establish the facts from the fiction. So nobody beat Stevenson. It doesn't really hurt his career, his official box rec, and it says he's suspended by the commission indefinitely. So I'm not sure if he has some type of injury, but usually when it says indefinitely, they got to get clearance from a doctor to come back. And again, this could be possibly from his fight with Shakur Stevenson. So this is a developing story, and we'll see ultimately how it plays out, what the WBC officially decides to do in terms of who's next and what's next. So what are the facts? What does this mean? Shakur Stevenson was not stripped for any type of misconduct. Shakur was not penalized per se. and Shakur Stevenson is not suspended. So it simply reflects the WBC has considered him no longer active at lightweight at this time. A bit political. That's the only thing that I can think of.
Analyst Ayo Oladipo described the WBC's decision to strip Shakur Stevenson of his 135-pound title as unusual and controversial. Stevenson had made it clear that his move up in weight was temporary and that he planned to return. Despite this, the WBC vacated the belt due to inactivity. Oladipo also noted that even though Shakur's last fight was not for the WBC title, the organization still required him to pay 50% of the sanctioning fee, highlighting what he called the WBC's rigid and bureaucratic approach.